When your knee caves in, whether you are walking, you could be running, squatting, lunging, really any form of activity using the lower body, this is something we call knee valgus or knock knees. And this can also lead to inner knee pain. I'm gonna share with you a routine that incorporates two slightly different strategies, but when we mix them together, they have phenomenal results. The first one being a fascia decompression routine, and the second one being how to understand our biomechanical structure, the dysfunction going on, and how to strengthen and now own that space we've created to re-educate the lower body so that our knees tend to not continually cave in. Now, the first perspective, our fascia system. This is our connective tissue that holds our entire body together. And there's specific fascial lines and meridians in the body that connect certain muscles to each other. So if certain areas become tight, it can pull and tug on other areas. Now, let's pay attention to the lateral portion of our leg. Now, with this fascial line, if it becomes tight, you can see what's happening. If these 2 points are becoming closer together, this can cause this action. So it's important that we can release this area. You can even think, when we look at the pelvis here, if we are in too much of an anterior pelvic alignment, we are using something called our TFL muscle too frequently as a hip flexor and hip internal rotator. That ties directly into your IT band, which is right here. And if that gets tight, it can influence and tighten the entire lateral portion of your leg. So releasing that area would be very important. Now let's look at this from more of a biomechanical perspective. If our pelvis is tipped too far forwards, this allows us to access more internal rotation space. And for many of us, we kind of lose that control, so our femurs just fall into place. So if I am tipped forwards like this, it's so easy for me to access internal rotation and adduct my knees in. Now, what's also happening here is we have to understand and respect what's going on with the tibia, your shin bone here. So if we have too much internal rotation here, and we see that the knees are going in, this means that the tibia has to be going relatively in the opposite direction, which is external rotation. You can also see what's happening to my foot. This is not pronation. This is a collapse of the foot. Pronation is very important, but it has to be genuine. It can't be a compensation, which is happening right here. So really what we need to do is teach our tibia how to internally rotate and access genuine pronation of the foot. When we look at the foot here, this tibia bone right here, the shin bone, needs to internally rotate to access genuine pronation of the foot. So really the fix from a biomechanical perspective is neutralizing the pelvis, bringing the knees a little bit more out by accessing more of our abductors and our external rotators, while we also need to create internal rotation of the tibia. Now, to get started with the routine, we're gonna start with our fascia decompression component, and then we're gonna be following this up with some corrective exercises. To get started with the first portion of the fascia decompression routine, you'll either need a block from Block Therapy as our fascia decompression tool, or you can use a tightly rolled up towel. This is definitely going to be quite a bit more effective for this routine, especially getting into the adductors. Now, to get started, we're going to be doing one leg at a time. If you notice that this is more on one leg, then you can just focus on that leg or double up on that side. Now, I'm going to start off by laying flat on my front, and I'm gonna kick my leg out to the side, position the block or the towel in about the mid to lower range of the adductor. Now I'm gonna rotate my upper body back to the floor so it just looks like I'm kicking my leg out to the side. Now, all I wanna do is relax and focus on my breath. That is such a key component. Breathing in and out through the diaphragm is very important. Try to breathe in and out through the nose. You're gonna start feeling some tension build up. You're gonna start feeling a bit of discomfort, maybe even some pain. If it's too painful at any moment, then just ease off a little bit, reconnect at a less intensity. Now what you can do once you've settled in is very slowly, the slower you move, the more effective this is gonna be. We're gonna start creating some movement here and just help persuading the fascia and these muscles to release and decompress. So we're gonna be spending a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes here, but you gotta make sure that you're feeling the tension. If you're not feeling anything, you're not really gonna gain any results. After the 3 to 5 minutes, nice and slow, exhale up and off. Now we're gonna be working on the TFL. I alluded to this earlier. Now the TFL, this muscle, connects directly into the IT band, and this can become very tight, pulling on the IT band and even the lateral calf into the tibialis anterior as well. Now let's locate this. This is gonna be right, let's bring it to the front, just underneath your ASIS bone, and let's rotate it over to about this 45 degree. It's this muscle right here. Now I'm going to, nice and slow, get into it like this. And my back is gonna be turned towards you, but that's okay. And I'm just straightening the leg I'm working on, bending the other. And I'm gonna be at about this 45 degree angle. Now, as I am here, I am going to do the exact same thing. Connect to my breath and relax. Spend at least 3 to 5 minutes here, and very slowly I'm gonna be searching. And there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of pain locked in that area. And you're gonna notice that and feel that. And it might feel really good for some it might feel really painful. So again, just go at your own intensity. So make sure you spend 3 to 5 minutes there. And now we're gonna be moving into the lateral calf position. So again, you can use a block or a rolled up towel. I'm gonna have the block on its side, and I'm gonna be having this positioned mid to even higher portion here. I find that I get a lot of benefit when I work a little bit higher in the lateral calf, and I'm just gonna rest my opposite leg on top of the one I'm actively working. You can get nice and comfortable on your side, focus on your breathing, and then once you settle in, you're just going to search towards the front slightly. You can search towards the back. You want to be moving even slower. I'm just doing this for a demonstration. If you want more pressure, you can even bring this into a bit of a side plank, and you can hold this to make it a little bit more active. So those are the 3 positions I would recommend. Get up and walk around and see if your knees are feeling a little bit better, and maybe this is starting to straighten it out. But now we're gonna move into the corrective exercise component, which is now starting to re-educate the body on how to use certain muscles, how to inhibit certain, and then activate others. So let's get started. For step 1, we're gonna start focusing on tibial internal rotation. So this is your shin bone here. Now you're gonna need something to step onto slightly. I'm just using a bench. You can use a chair or whatever you have available. Now, this is internal rotation, bringing the shin in this direction. We're bringing it inwards. This is where our tibia is likely located right now, and I could be exaggerating this. So let's start by having the foot square so it's straight ahead. Now I want you to make sure that your opposite foot isn't directly behind you, because this is going to cause you to do this action. I want to make sure that your left foot is underneath your left hip, so we are nice and square. Now what we're doing here is, as we track the knee over the toes, this is creating something called dorsiflexion. For this to genuinely happen, we need the tibia to internally rotate, which will act on pronation of the foot so that it can start to flatten out, and that is very important. So what we're gonna do is grab our hands like this onto the upper portion of our tibia. Now we're gonna be doing this as an exercise, but also a bit of a fascial maneuver or manipulation approach here. So we're gonna start back like this, meaning I am in more of a negative shin angle. Once we start from here, our foot arch should be a little bit higher. This is supination. And then we want to, as we track over, we're creating internal rotation. I am intentionally rotating this. And then we're gonna hang out here for about 3 to 5 breaths. So let's get started, and we'll do 1 repetition together. So let's grab. We're gonna start with that negative shin angle, so your knee behind your foot, and make sure you're feeling the 3 points of contact. So your heel, the ball of the big toe, and the fifth metatarsal head the entire time. We don't want to be collapsing in or overly supinating the foot. Now, nice and slow, as we are tracking the knee over that second toe approximately, we are really internally rotating, and you can use some pretty good force. Make sure your hip isn't out too far and your knee is caving in. Try to stay in as much proper alignment as you can. Now let's still feel and find those 3 points of contacts, and we want to continually hold that internal rotation. So we're teaching our tibia now to internally rotate to pronate the foot and help to realign that tibia bone relative to our femur, which is our thigh bone. So we're going to hold this for 3 to 5 breaths. Once you've done so, you're going to nice and slow come back and unwind. And then you're going to perform another repetition. You're going to grab and you're gonna internally rotate, bring that knee over the toes, and you're gonna hold. Maybe you wanna twist a little bit harder. So again, you're gonna gauge how much pressure you're gonna use, but this is gonna be highly effective. So do about 3 to 5 repetitions of holding that for about 3 to 5 breaths before we move on to the next exercise. Again, you can do this on one leg or you can do it on both. For this next exercise, all you're gonna need is a wall, and optionally, you can use a band to wrap around the lower portion of your thighs like this. Make sure it's not too strong of a band. Make sure it's relatively light because we're really just using it as a training tool. Now, let's lean back on the wall. Let's take about a step away or so, and let's sink down to 60 degrees-ish of hip flexion. We don't wanna get too low for this because we wanna stay in a little bit more external rotation space. The band here is going to make us and help us bring the knees a little bit more out. So we're tracking the knees over the toes. So that's really important, but we don't want to become dependent on this. We're using this as a training tool. Then we want to feel the points of contact of the foot, the inner heel, the ball of the big toe, and the fifth metatarsal head. Don't lose any of those points. Now let's exhale completely. Bring those low ribs down. Feel the pelvis tipping backwards slightly so that your low back is more flat on the ground. If you were to touch your glutes, your lower portion of your glutes are going to be contracted. They're going to be tight, and that's a good thing because we're opening up more of the top portion of the pelvis here. Now, all we're going to do is just bend the arms like this and gently reach away. Don't do it too aggressively. Just reach away gently like this to open up the posterior part of the rib cage, and we're going to stay here for 8 to 10 breaths. So this is educating our pelvis. We're bringing the knees over the toes rather than caving in, and we're going to perform about 2 to 3 sets. Isometrics are awesome to do, especially if you are experiencing pain or you're trying to realign a dysfunction in your body. Make sure that you're not experiencing any pain when doing any of these exercises. The fascia decompression is a little bit different because you are kind of self-inflicting yourself in a way to massage and get deep in the connective tissue. But now for the routine to follow. There's really 2 here that you can do, or you can combine them into one. I always recommend starting with the fascia decompression. So you're going to be doing 3 to 5 minutes in each position, the one being the adductor, then the TFL, then the lateral calf. And then we worked into some of the correctives. We did 2. One was the tibial internal rotation. You're getting into that full range of motion, holding that for 3 to 5 breaths, and you're doing about 3 to 5 sets of that. And then we moved into the wall sit variation, and you're going to hold that for 8 to 10 full breaths, doing about 2 to 3 sets. You can perform this daily for the next couple weeks, and you're going to notice a change.